Okay. So just now I mentioned that there's actually two ways for you to build your own second brain. Okay. So one, which is we'll be touching on Notebook LM. Another tool we'll be touching on is Obsidian. Okay. And Claude. Both Notebook LM and Obsidian, they are all free. Okay. They are free for you to use. And Claude, right, is your own AI brain. Okay. If you do not have your Claude subscription, it's okay. You can just watch what we are doing today. Okay. So Claude is like your chat GPT where you can be able to chat with your AI, but just that Claude can do more things, right? It can be able to manage your folders in your local computer. So that's what we are going to be using today. Yeah, why not ChatGPT? Because Claude is able to manage your folders, create new files from your computer. All right. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen. Hmm. Can you see my screen, right? So today we will turn what we read online, okay? So be it if you're reading any kind of articles online or you're watching, let's say for example, you're watching this YouTube video and this YouTube video is simply super long. So you know that sometimes, right, when you want to learn something, but then there's a lot of buffer, a lot of words. Yeah, just like a novel, right? Let's say for example, a 500-page novel. The essence of the story maybe is just in the 50 or 100, okay, 100 pages. Or if you're reading a non-fiction book, especially when it comes to non-fiction book, right? When you want to learn something, a key information, and then they tell you so many grandfather, grandmother story, right? Which makes you feel so sian to read the whole book. Yeah, so sometimes it's like, just give me the essence, distill everything point, into point forms, or distill everything into my like a to-do list or a learning journey, something like that. Okay, so that's what we want to do with our second brain. Okay. So here's the agenda for today. Okay. And then I'll go and touch on rec. Like, what is rec actually? Okay. So, rec, right, is when you ask a certain question to your AI, and then your AI will retrieve and find relevant notes. Otherwise, right, your AI will actually be going round and round on the World Wide Web, right, on the open internet, and try to find you some answers which might not be grounded. Okay. So, here's RAG for you. RAG is stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So that means the AI will look for relevant materials and then answers using the relevant materials that you have in the RAG. So every answer is grounded in real sources that you can check. So the AI does not hallucinate or plug any kind of figures from the open internet. Okay, so that's your RAG. And who will need a RAG? Anyone can tell me anything? Who needs a rack? There's no right or wrong answers, huh? Yeah. Can you tell me what kind of who will need a rack? No? Okay. Basically, it's anyone. Yeah, employees in a company. Yes, that's right, Nancy. Yeah. Basically everyone. So for example, if you are working in a corporate environment, right? Okay. And then you have your data sheets, you have your brochures. Let's say you're working in sales, and then you want to get quotes or get prices very efficiently without checking a whole list of PDFs, right? Or you want to, or you're working in HR, HR department, you have your SOP, right? So whatever SOP that you have, so you can all input into this rack, into this system, so that it's very easy for you to retrieve your rack, okay, to retrieve the information without spending a lot of time trying to sieve out the correct information. And sometimes you might even give the wrong information, okay? But with rack, you're able to retrieve and find the relevant nodes. But this all these nodes, right? You must feed the correct nodes. You cannot feed rubbish nodes and expect it not to be rubbish. Okay, rubbish in, rubbish out. Yeah. So that's what rack means lah. Okay. So rack in three moves. Okay. So first of all, you retrieve, find the notes or documents that meet your question. That means you can put in your even your links, your website links. Let's say, for example, if your knowledge database, everything is on the internet, okay, you have a website, or you have PDFs, or you have Word documents, you have Excel sheets, right? So you can put everything inside so that you will be able to retrieve, okay? And then you augment it, you slot the material into the prompt, right? That means it will be ingesting it into the prompt itself. And after that, you generate, you get an answer built on your sources with citations. Yeah. So Claude, ChatGPT, NotebookLM, Perplexity, they all run this same loop underneath. So what is a second brain? It is an outside system, right? Outside of your knowledge to store everything. Okay, so for example, if I want to know how to create a website, okay, or I want to know how to create an e-commerce website, right? So I want to store all this information. I can store it in a second brain. That means I might not need the information now, but I might need it later part. Because later part, I might think that, okay, maybe next year I want to start something new. Maybe I want to start a TikTok shop, for example. So this information, right, I can actually store it somewhere, right? Like into your second brain, so that your mind stays free to think, or you can retrieve the information later so that you can find it later, right? So you point your rack at the notes and then you can finally ask your own knowledge questions. So later I'll demonstrate what we can do with that. Okay. So Notebook LM is good when we are using it with documents and using it to do research. Okay. So when we want to have a research assistant, we'll use a Notebook LM. And we want it to digest. We want to have summary of the YouTube videos. We want to ask more questions with a AI brain inside. We will use NotebookLM. Okay. So Obsidian. So when do we start using Obsidian? So Obsidian is when we have a lot of notes, right? You have a lot of notes all over, okay, the place. And then you want to consolidate all your notes that you have. Okay. So once you consolidate all your notes that you have, you can put everything into this centralized Obsidian. Okay. And when does Claude comes in? So Claude will come in when it's trying to automate things for you. When you have a lot of messy notes, okay? So you put into the raw folder all your thoughts, processes, or your notes that you have for years, your Apple Notes, or maybe your Evernote, or maybe your Google Docs. You want to put everything into a centralized location and ask it to sort for you. You can use Claude to sort it for you. So each is tuned for a different purpose, right? So they work best when it works together. So the trap to avoid, right, is dumping everything in feels productive while doing nothing for you. Okay. Dumping everything in feels productive while doing nothing for you. Right. So a vault of notes. If let's say you never open the vault of notes, right? So it becomes a useless pile of notes. If let's say you're just spending a time trying to beautify, trying to organize, but you don't even return to your notes, you don't even refer to your notes. Okay. So the real value, it sits in the small sets of notes that you actually return to. So I would suggest everyone to dump all your past notes, because all your past notes might be history already. Okay. It might be history. So we might want to start anew, start fresh. So we start to have a small set a clean set of notes, and we always archive them once we don't use it anymore. All right, because we don't want to be like the library where we have 100,000, 1 million books inside where we don't even read. Okay, we want something that we can always refer back to, the most updated information. All right, so your job here is not to dump everything. Okay, but your job here is to dump updated information so that you can be able to refer as and when you need it. Okay, understand? Make sense? Who here have used NotebookLM before? If you have used NotebookLM before, right, just type me. Okay, good. I see quite a few of you guys. Yeah. So for NotebookLM, there's actually a few good use cases that we can do. Yeah. So later we'll go through. So here's one simple habit you can do is you can dump your rough notes things into one folder. Okay. So you can write fast. Yeah. And once a week, ask, did anything I saved change how I think about what I'm working on? Okay. If yes, write one short clean note on one line on why it matters and a link back. Okay, and you keep that clean folder small on purpose. Okay, so 2-1. Upload your sources, PDFs, links, slides, transcripts, ask questions. It only answers from those sources with citations. Yeah. So let's go to NotebookLM. All right. If you don't know how to go to NotebookLM, you can always go to Google, NotebookLM. All right. So the first one, NotebookLM.google. This will be your first one. Okay. So you see, NotebookLM, it says is your research and thinking partner grounded in the information you trust, right? So this is what we call a REC. Okay. Because you always refer to your sources. So you see, you can be able to upload PDF, websites, YouTube videos, audio files, Google Docs, Google Slides, and more. And NotebookLM will summarize them and make interesting connections between topics. Okay. And also gives you interesting insights, a study guide, FAQ, briefing doc, timeline. Okay. Yeah. So how are people using NotebookLM? They use NotebookLM to study, to learn new topics, research, to sift through research papers. All right, if you are doing a thesis or whatever kind of assessment, and then you have various sources which are super long, super long. Okay, so you want to use it to study. Okay, and you can use it to organize your thinking, to create a polished presentation. You can create slides. Yeah, you can create videos, audio, whatsoever. Okay, so how you log in, right, is just go to over here, try NotebookLM. And then you should be logged into your Google account. All right. So once you're logged into your Google account, so this is my notebook. So these are all my notebook. Okay. I've got a lot of things I know. Okay. So you will see that they also have a featured notebook shared with me. Right. So once you're inside, so a notebook is your independent depository. Think of it as an independent library. Okay. So this library, right, is where you store the particular things that you want to store. All right. So you can a lot of all these library, a lot of these notebooks, which can be different topics altogether. All right. So the point is we don't want to mix the topics inside. We want to separate all the topics So we want to classify them better, and then we can have more accurate data, right? So what you need to do now, right, is just to go to create new, and then it will ask you for the source. Okay. So it asks you for the source. What kind of source do we have? Let's say, for example, today you are using this for your work, right? So your work, you might have your price list, you might have your marketing materials, you might have your SOPs, and then you can just upload, yeah, upload the information from here. All right. Let's say, for example, I have this 7 ways to make extra income. And let me see if I have any examples. Okay, for example, I have this HR policy manual. Okay, I just drop this HR policy manual inside. So I can title this as my HR policy manual. All right. So you summarize this thing for me. Okay. And then after that, you see over here, there's a few questions that you can ask. So you can just click on it. Alaric AI as a source. So Alaric AI is already okay. Yeah, so it's a whole new so it's a website with a lot of things inside. So actually you can use this as a source as well. But his knowledge, right, would not be in the this Alert.ai, right? It's more on a customer fronting. Yeah. So it's more for if let's say you're trying to sell his services as a affiliate. Yeah. Then you can see um everything over here, what his entrepreneurial journey. Mm. Okay, Jaina has a question. Can we link or put our Google Docs directly? Yes, of course. So you can put whatever kind of things that you want to put inside, okay? But you need to make sure that it's of the correct grouping. You don't just mix any kind of random files inside one notebook. Yeah, you want to make sure everything is centralized. That means it's classified under a certain kind of topic, yeah, that you want.
Okay, Brandon, I have this question about. I'm glad you're doing this organizing because I have so many files. I'm trying to make them into stories, but before I can create the content, let's say, for example, I have a career of 10 years of files and experience, photographs of customer, VIP. So if I file them into one, like you said, like a classified folder, for example,
Hmm.
so I have a lot of like scanned document already scanned, or like, can I load it up, all that, or can I do that?
Yeah, yeah. So you can load it up. So it could be you can load your you see over here add sources.
Uh-huh.
So you can load your links, your Google
Mm-hmm.
Drive links. Yeah. So those documents that you have right in your Google Drive, you can insert,
Oh.
and you can also insert your PDFs. All right. So
Oh.
anything from your drive, anything from your
Desktop.
folders, your files, your desktop. Yeah, you can
Mm.
put everything all together, even copy text.
Okay, so
Mm.
let's say I load everything, including videos and images. I can also organize them, right?
Okay, so for videos, right, when we want to put it inside, it's actually for us to extract the transcript from the videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
extract the transcript. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
this is not like your Google Drive where you just want to organize everything nicely in a folder.
Mm,
This is where we are trying to use this as a rec, as a knowledge database for us, so
mm,
that we can be able to use it to extract the information to create another document that we want.
mm.
Yeah, let's say for example, I want to create a summary. I throw everything inside. Okay, so create a slide deck of my achievements.
Right, right,
Create a
right.
slide
Something
deck.
like that.
Yeah, so create a slide deck of my customer testimonials.
Mm, 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 mm.
So that's what you can be able to do.
Ah, that's what I'm looking at. So we don't have to, so it straight away can pull out all the information and create what we want to create. So the
Yes,
notebook
that's
can
right.
do that. Okay, that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it can save a lot of time because, okay, so there's another thing. I have a lot of written notes and everything. Let's say I want to transfer it to Notebook LM, right? Do I need to type it out or can I just scan and then extract?
Yeah.
How's the best way? Yeah,
So
this is very.
because right now the PDFs they are able to read text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay,
their vision, they are able to read your text. So you just have to upload. Yeah, you can take a photo or you can just put it into PDF.
okay, okay.
Mm.
It'll
And
be
then you
faster,
transcribe.
right? Because if I
Yeah.
retype, it's going to take so long, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No need retype
I
lah.
think that's
Yeah,
a faster way. Take picture, upload, then they will re-script it and then they will file it, something like that, right? They'll file it
that's
one
right.
side. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, that's it.
that's right.
Thank you for answering
Welcome.
my bigger
Welcome.
question. Okay, thanks.
That's all for personal notes, right? I will not I will recommend to use Obsidian instead. Yeah, so later I'll tell you why I'll use Obsidian.
Okay,
Mm,
can.
yeah. Okay. So for I was think that NotebookLM is like your thinking partner, your research partner. Okay. So you want to there's two things you can do. So one is your internal resource, your let's say for example your HR department or your whatever sales department or whatever kind of materials that you have. So you want to put it inside and then for you to be able to generate something else. Okay. Let's say for example, I insert this HR policy manual. Okay, so it's able to give me um, the information that I need. And then another thing I can do is actually I can be able to generate a slide deck, okay, based on my sources. So you see, by default, I can click on this button, okay, or there's an arrow button where I can be able to click and I can customize, right? So I can customize, I can build these two formats, one which is a detailed deck with full text and details. Another one is a presenter slide. Okay. And then I can choose any language that I want. Let's say, for example, I have information in English. I want to change it to Chinese. I can do it. And the length, I can choose the length as well. Okay. Short or default. And over here, I can also add, create a deck for beginner. Okay. So for example, I want to create a deck that is cute and playful, for example. Okay, I just click on generate. So it'll be generating at the background for me. Okay. So I can even create an AI podcast based on my sources. So some people they are very they're audio, right? Some people they are visual. Yeah, some people they are kinetic, right? So we have all different kind of learning styles. Right? So it all depends on your kind of learning style that you 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 prefer. Okay. So you can also build your infographics, right? So infographics is good for you to distill information into one visual piece, okay, just one. And then you can also use this infographics information, you can put into your social media as well. So for example, if today I don't have any ideas on what kind of content I want to do, right? Let's say for example, I want to do um Claude content, right? I want generate Instagram post for Claude. All right, so I can just go to YouTube, go and steal the videos, the latest videos that I want. Okay, and then I can distill. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, okay, we'll come back to this infographic and slide deck later. Okay, let me open another one.
Brandon, while you do that, I have another question that came up.
Mm,
So, okay, let's say it's for somebody that already learned, for example, filming, like a executive producer sort of level of thinking, and they want to like create a project of a film. So I'm thinking, is this also one of the good tool? Let's say they think about scripting, storyboarding, for example. Can they also use this tool?
it's very different already because this is more
Different.
like your knowledge database, your
Okay.
library. Yeah, so if you want to do scripting and all this, you need a more collaborative tool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's more
So,
like a filming sort of tool, like a video, how to say, film creating kind of tool, more like a storyboarding sort of tool, right?
yeah, you need a more storyboarding kind of tool, or you can use I think you can use Miro if I'm not wrong.
Or Miro, I have that software to make the storyboard, right? Something like that.
Yeah, Miro. Yeah. So
Okay,
people
can.
use this for projects, Miro. Yeah.
Can. I'm thinking ahead. Yeah, never mind. You go back to
Mm,
the one that you want to share first. Thank you.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's say for example, I today I want to learn new things, right? But I don't have time to look through all the videos. Okay. So for example, just now I mentioned about Claude, right? Okay, let's go to Claude Code Marketing Agents. Today I want to learn how to build your full AI team, but then I don't have 17 minutes. Okay. So I just click on share. I just copy and let me go back. Oh, sorry, paste here. I can paste AI for marketing. Share.
Most people install Clock at work and still
Okay. And this one. Okay, copy the links. Right. So now I have 3 links. So that means, right, whatever information that I feed to this notebook will be based on these 3 videos. And whatever things that I ask the AI, right, you'll always be based on these 3 videos. Okay. Okay, so it says this resource provides comprehensive guide to utilizing Cloud Code co-work to build automated AI marketing teams, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what I can do now is I can be able to say, uh, summarize all these 3 videos and give me uh, an outline. Okay, so there's the video summary. All right. So if I want to, let's say for example, I want to know what are the 8 use cases, then I can say, give me the detailed uh, summary for these 8 use cases. If I want to zoom in into a particular video, right? And then if let's say too much text, yeah, lazy to read, generate an infographic based on these 8 use cases. I can do that. And then another thing I can do, right, is I can be able to build the infographics as well. Right. So choose your orientation. You want landscape, portrait, or square. Okay. Let's say, for example, I want portrait, and then I want to have maybe like a professional. Okay. So standard. Wow, it might take up to 10 minutes to complete. Okay, that's very long. Okay, let's go back here to the HR policy example. So this is an infographic that you can send right away to all your new hires, or you can just stick it in your office. Yeah, just based on the PDF itself, and you're able to generate a new infographic, which one look, right, it looks very clear. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think this is better than reading a bunch of documents? Better, right? Or us to demo the quiz. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you are a teacher, okay, you have a certain topic that you want to teach, and then you want to generate an interactive quiz. You can do that as well. Okay, you can just click on quiz. So we just let it generate. By the way, you can click so you can click on everything at once, and then you just let it generate, and then you can come back later. Yeah. So we even have mind map. So mind mapping. So some people are visual, so they learn using mind map. Some they learn using audio. It all depends. And I can be able to even create an AI slide deck based on my sources. So for example, if I want to today, I want to teach all of you on how to use Claude Code for marketing. I do not have to reinvent the wheel. What I need to do is just go to some of the sources that I vet through, right? I must vet through, I cannot just blindly plug any kind of videos that I want, right? Because I need to vet through and make sure that, okay, so this is the thing that I want to teach, right? And then after that, I'll just put in the sources and I'll use that source to help me to generate the slide deck. Yeah. So with that, right, I'm able to save a lot of time. I do not have to waste a lot of time trying to create slides on my own, and trying to figure things on my own, because right now all the resources are already given to you on the public internet for free. Okay, so this is the mind map. Expand the viewer. All right. So this is a call, process, infrastructure configuration, cloud code environment. Yeah. So once you click, right, and then it will give you more information. Like I click terminal/commands. So you'll give you more information about this. Okay, understand? All right. So specialized AI agents. And so this whole thing becomes interactive. Yeah. So with interactivity, right, we are able to learn things more faster. Okay. So this is another infographic. So you can use this infographic, you can put into your Instagram, you can put into IG, right? Another thing that we can do is over here, help me to create 5 pieces of social media content on IG. Give me the headline. No, do we have headline? No, caption. Just caption, right? The captions and also the images. Page. Okay, let me look into the chat. Okay, can put into your own Pinterest board. Pinterest. Yeah, so Pinterest is more like your board for you to store visually. Yeah, like pin your things that you like. Pin it onto a mood board, they call it. Some people call it mood board. Yeah. Dex asks, any advantage using Claude versus Grok or ChatGPT? So it depends on what you do with ChatGPT or what you do with Claude. So over here, NotebookLM is actually from Google. So the backbone, right, the AI is using Gemini. Yeah. Okay, Jenna say yes, save a lot of time, no need to figure things on our own. Yes. Yeah. So we just need to add in our own element, our own experience, right? Can do podcasts and provide pros and cons. Yeah. So you can do podcasts and you can also customize the podcast as well. Yeah. So how to customize? You just go to this arrow button and then you can go for a deep dive, a brief overview, a critique, expert review, a debate between two hosts. Mm. And you see there's a lot of ideas below on what the AI host can focus on this episode. Yeah. So this can be remixed into a different content already. Yeah. So you can use this content for yourself. Okay. Directly linking the chatbot into the source area possible. Yeah. So you can put in the source, right? The links into this chatbot in NotebookLM. Will the information be public? Dex, no. This is your own personal notebook. No one will see the information. So like I know of some companies, right? They are already using this for their own company usage. So like the company, they'll all share this notebook so they can be able to generate things fast. Yeah. Let's say if I want to generate sales slide decks on, and then I put in all my documents inside. So this becomes like a company storage, company notebook. Okay. For podcast, can use your voice? No, cannot use your own voice. Yeah, no, cannot. Can use our own avatar. I don't think you can use your own avatar. Yeah, you can't put your own avatar. Okay, so this is the eight essential Claude work use case for marketers based on that particular video. Okay, so you see, yeah, foundation strategy, camera powered presentations. Yeah, is my slide deck ready? Let me see. Slide deck. Okay, my slide deck is ready. Let me show you the slide deck. Oh, so just now I asked for a cute. Wow, this is so cute. Okay. So you see why does it replace Gamma for slide deck generation? It all depends on yourself. Yeah. So because this is Gemini, right? And Gemini, they generate their own images. So that's why you see they are able to do things which is what others cannot do. Yeah. Even Claude, they cannot do such a beautiful, so many cartoons, so many graphics. You can export, yeah. That's nice, right? Yeah. How do I export now? Export. Yeah, you can export as a PDF or PowerPoint. Let's try to see if we can edit the PowerPoint or not. Is it loading? Okay, so this was the PowerPoint generated. Okay, so as you can see, this is just an image. It's not clickable because it's using its own image generation engine. So you are not able to customize the text. Yeah, but you can lay over new text if you want. Yeah, so that's it. So there's a difference between, let's say, if you want to generate a slide. Yeah, you want to generate slides, right? For using Gamma, or you want to generate slides using uh NotebookLM. Yeah, so they are both different things. That's not my academy, it's someone else academy. I'm just sharing you information that I have. Yeah. Okay, so just now I mentioned we can use this for our company database, or we can use it as our knowledge partner to learn new things. Okay. Okay, the audio is, and we can use it to generate new slide decks as well. All right, so this is the slide deck. create the images. Yeah. So just now I asked it to create 5 pieces of social media content. So it's actually giving me the ideas for the captions and also the images based on the source that we have, right? So for example, the single post, there's a campaign teaser. Hmm, Right? Okay, so it's hallucinating a bit based on the Go Travel Japan cherry blossom. No, 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 no. Based on this notebook. Okay, so maybe my instructions are not clear enough. Ideas. Hmm, Okay, no. So you see, AI is not 100%. It's not, it's trying. I asked it to create 5 social media content ideas. Okay. Okay. What what sources do we have in this notebook? So maybe I need to go step by step again. Can you base on these sources and uh give me 5 content ideas for IG? Ah, Sakura. Using brand examples provided in the sources. Okay, so maybe these are the brand examples in the sources. Um, okay, I want to use these brand examples, but I want to be able to base on these 3 videos to come up with a content that teaches people on how to use Claude as a marketing assistant. Generate, okay, generate 5 content ideas for IG. Okay, so we got it. Yeah, but I have to let it know what I want because just now I was asking it to help me to generate 5 content ideas. So it went on to give me sources. Yeah, so these are not hallucination. It's actually using the brand examples provided in all these sources, which is Go Travel, Japan Campaign, and Pet Pure. So these are some of the examples that they use in the videos Yeah. So, but right now, because my intention was actually to be based on these 3 videos to come up with content that teaches people on how to use Claude as a marketing assistant. So I need to state it very clearly. And then after that, it gave me, right, the content based on the sources. And then after that, I asked it to generate 5 content ideas for IG. Yeah. So it gave me the carousel, the hook, the slide, okay, the text inside, and then the caption. So with this, right, then I can be able to generate my slides, my carousel slides. Yeah, but I can't generate my carousel slides from here. I tried it earlier. I couldn't do it, so I still need to go back to no, go back to Gemini to generate all these slides. Yeah, all these carousel. Or maybe let me see if I can do it. Yeah. Help me to generate a 7 slide that teaches people how to use Claude for marketing. Simple tips, easy to understand, make each slide attractive, and in less than 2 paragraphs. Okay, and the format ratio, I want to make it into a portrait. Make this into a portrait format. Let's see if I can generate a portrait slide deck. Okay, let's go through one by one what we generated just now.
Welcome to the deep dive. So today we are looking at a stack of highly tactical tutorials to solve, well, a pretty massive problem.
Also, it gave us a 20-minute audio.
Welcome to the deep dive. So today we are looking at a stack of highly tactical tutorials to solve, well, a pretty massive problem.
A really massive problem, yeah.
Right. And that's moving past using AI as just this basic chatbot where you constantly copy and paste, and instead actually building a fully autonomous local marketing team right on your own computer.
Exactly.
And our sources today include 2 technical walkthroughs on setting up Claude Cowork and Claude Code specifically for marketing teams, plus this fascinating breakdown of a free open source tool that basically mimics a high-end agency website audit.
Which is wild to see in action.
It really is. I mean, think about the difference between hiring a
Okay. Right. So I have some questions over here. Steve said I can see the prompt you input just now. I missed that. Jaina, unfortunately, you cannot clone your own voice. Yeah. But you can create the script though. You can create a script and then after that you can clone your own voice in 11 Labs. Yeah. So what you need to do is just take a transcript. So for example, generate. I want to build a podcast channel that features ordinary people, non-tech on how to use AI, in particularly I want to dive no, into this topic of marketing with Claude. Help me to generate a 10 minutes audio transcript, which I will use it for my podcast. You may get the sources, get the information from the YouTube video sources. So we got it. So this 10-minute podcast script. So you can see all these numbers, right? This one, this two. So all these, right, are actually referring back to the source from the video that we have. So these are the citations. Okay, see over here. So link us back to this video. Claude Code build your full AI marketing team. Then with these, right, we can just copy and paste into 11 Labs. Yeah. Yes, Gina. You sound very excited. You seem very excited. Yeah.
Yes, I am very excited. I am very excited because I can do my podcast. I'm thinking how to do like really a lot of steps, right? I need to like think about the script and so many things. So
Uh,
now you said this notebook LM, right? I can just put in my topic and it's just come up with some series. Like I give a heading, then it can generate, right? Then I can start my podcast going. For example, how do you identify red flag from a relationship, for example? Then it can
okay.
come out like the script. Then I can port it in 11 Lab. Then every time it's like a series using my own voice, right? Can be done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
that's why I'm
and also
excited. So,
awesome, awesome. And also you can
yeah,
ask it to base on because you will have your information in writing, right? You mentioned
yeah,
just now you have it in
yeah.
writing. And then so when you're writing, so
Mm,
it has a particular kind of voice that you already have.
yeah.
Can your element of voice, your how you write, right? And everything, you can ask it to generate a transcript that's based on your voice,
I
based on
have
your
it. I had the
style.
clone voice, my voice, but I may have to slow down a little bit. The speed
Oh,
is quite fast, so I may have to slow down and change a little bit of the pacing.
oh, what I mean is like your all your writings, right? So
Uh
all your
huh.
writings when you put inside this NotebookLM,
Uh huh.
okay? So because when you write, you have a certain style when you write, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that becomes like your voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
see what
then
you
you can
mean.
ask it to generate the audio transcript based on your style.
I see. I
Mm,
see, I see, I
yeah.
see. Yeah, yeah. So
So
it's more like your impression because it's your authentic lah. The
yes,
authentic, that's what you're trying to say. Not so
yeah,
much on the typical the chat GPT side of script lah. I see what you mean.
yes. So instead
Understand.
of it sounding very AI, you can put
Yep.
in your own elements because
Mm,
now it will learn from your previous. If let's say you have done any podcast before, then
mm.
you can get the podcast, right? You can put into your transcript, put into the transcript. So you will
Mm.
learn from the transcript on how you
Mm.
talk, basically.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
So they're just capturing our patterns, our tonality, our impression, all that, right? And after that, you will follow through using that authentic, like you said, our own, how do you say, transcript voice lah, so to speak. Okay, can
That's
I
right.
got it.
Yeah.
可以. Thanks for the highlight. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's very
No
good.
worries.
Mm.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay.
Excited. Okay. Right.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So Nisa was saying, where to upload the 11 Labs MP3 of our voice. Okay, we don't upload over here. Yeah. So what I meant, right, was that right now you don't have to create your own content. If let's say you want to do your podcast, it means you can grab whatever kind of knowledge that you have. Okay, so be it like on YouTube or be it your own personal knowledge, and then you can tell NotebookLM to help you to generate a transcript for you. And what I meant by generate a transcript with your own voice, right, is you need to put in more of your own style of writing. Okay, so once NotebookLM learns your own style of writing, or even if let's say you have done a podcast in the past before, right? So if you've done a podcast in the past before, you will have the MP3. So you just generate the MP3, make it into a transcript, right? Into a transcript which is raw, and then you pass on the raw transcript into NotebookLM. Okay, so you say, learn from this my raw transcript and generate a new audio transcript for me for this new particular topic. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So the apps to do like a MP3 to, okay, so you can always find MP3 to transcript. Yeah. So you see 11 labs popping up. Okay. So if you have your MP3, your voice recording, you can use it to transcribe files. Yeah. And then you can just upload your own file. Okay, that's how you upload your own file. Or if you have your own YouTube videos. Yeah, if you have your own YouTube videos, right? It'll be interesting because Nisa and I and other coaches, we have our own YouTube videos, right? Because we upload our recordings of our workshops like this, mini classes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then we can use it to transcribe the files. And after we transcribe the files, we will have it in the document. So once we have the document, the raw document, transcript document, we can feed it to Notebook LM. So it understands the style of how we speak. Yeah. So it can generate, I would say like maybe 70-80% similar to your style. Yeah. If it makes sense. You can even click on non-verbatim. So that means anything that has the but, the false starts or repetition. Yeah. Okay, so this is 11 labs that you can use, or you can use any other things, any to text.com. Okay, so this is much more straightforward, much more easier. You just need to drop your MP3 file inside, or even your YouTube links. Yeah, which is pretty good. Okay, let me see what I have here. Okay, see quiz. Okay, the quiz. So this could be a quiz that you want to do with your new hires. Yeah. So it depends on what kind of quiz you want to do. Okay. All right. Let me look through to see if I have any more questions. Yeah. Oh, Eric was asking, able to connect NotebookLM with Gemini. It's already connected with Gemini. Oh yeah, and one more thing I want to show you, which is this super useful sidebar. Okay. So how you get this sidebar, right, is this is the Chrome extension. So if you're using Chrome, then you can go to Chrome and then you can search for NotebookLM sidebar, right? So because I already installed, so it's already here. So what you can do, right, you can let's go to details. Let me see if I can see the Chrome store. You go to Chrome store. Yeah. NotebookLM AI sidebar. So the good thing about this, right, is when you are on YouTube, okay, so you will see that there's shortcut button where you can click and you'll go to your notebook. You add this to your notebook. Yeah. Add YouTube links, your YouTube shorts. So you don't have to click to and fro. Right. So this is a third-party app, yeah? Mhm. So install this at your own risk. But so far so good lah. Yeah, you see the ratings and everything. And it's free. Yeah. So what I mean is once you have installed this Chrome extension, all right, you need to go here. You need to click on the extension. So at the extension, the logo looks like a jigsaw puzzle. Click on it, and then you pin, right? Pin. So you can be able to see it. And then you can go to any of the YouTube videos. Okay. Say, for example, I want to go to this video.
Most people don't realize.
No, not this video. Okay, I go to this video, right? There's a long 49 minutes video. So do you see this at the bottom? Yes? Yeah. So this icon, right? Notebook LM. So I'll just click on it. And then you add to my notebook. So I can choose to add to my new notebook. I can choose to add to my existing notebook. If I already have one, okay? If I already have one, then I can just add it inside. So just then I'll add it to Claude. No. AI make money. Okay, I have this notebook called AI make money. I'll just add it inside. And then you go to AI and go to my notebook instantly. Okay, so this is a shortcut. All right, question. Can we generate surveys for research purposes too besides quiz? Can we generate surveys? Yeah. Surveys are what kind of surveys? Like survey questions or okay, Tony asks, can you please share with us all the YouTube links that you recommend to learn everything you have on Claude? Everything I learn on Claude, I teach. So you just need to go to Podia. Podia. So Podia is our own knowledge database. So which we do all the live classes like this. So I distill everything that I learned into classes like this. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't really learn a lot from YouTube. I learn more from experimenting myself. Yeah, we do have a podia. So once I have done this video, right? So when I've done this Zoom recording, and then I'll upload to our knowledge database. So Podia is where we store all our videos. Yeah. So every coaching call, we'll store it in our knowledge base. Now don't worry. Once I'm done, right, with the recording, I post it and then I'll just inform in the groups. Yeah. Okay. So we are done with Notebook LM. Any more questions regards to Notebook LM? If not, we'll move on to Obsidian. Yeah, quite a bit to cover today. Okay, so let's go to Obsidian, right? See what Obsidian is. Okay, if you don't know the link, never mind. You just go to Obsidian on Google and then you'll find it. So it's called obsidian.md. Yeah. So Obsidian, it's an app that you can download on your personal computer, your Mac, your Windows, or even your iOS app. Hmm. And Obsidian is more for note taking, right? No more for your own personal knowledge database. So for public database, you can use NotebookLM, right? Because all these are public, but stored in your own notebook for your own personal consumption. Make sense? Okay. But Obsidian is more like, for example, if you have your thoughts, sometimes you want to plan something. Okay. So you can plan your ideas and then you can store all your ideas. You can put your who used Evernote before last time. Why I say last time? Because last time I also used Evernote. Evernote, anyone use before? Tony are still using Evernote? Not anymore, right? So Evernote, so I used Evernote last time. Yeah, the elephant, yes. And it was very good until it get very messy. Yeah. So Obsidian, if you are not aware, right, it will get very messy as well because it is essentially a note taker, right? A note taker in your computer. Okay, but the thing about Obsidian, what is different, right, is that right now we are able to collaborate with your AI to work on your note taker, which is your Obsidian. Yeah. So we also want to keep it clean. But how do we keep it clean? We have the assistance of AI, so which will introduce some automated workflows with the AI, okay, to help us to make our personal note taker clean, right? So clean for us, that means just now I mentioned we want it to be updated, right? We always want the information to be updated. We don't want to have any outdated information. So I will not suggest that you port over all your Evernote or port over all your Apple Notes into the Obsidian, unless okay, unless you want to use this as your your really your personal knowledge database, you want to just dump everything, brain dump everything, and then decide what you want to do with it later. You can do that as well. Okay, no problem with that. Yeah. So sometimes when we do that, right, then we are able to see what are the kind of similarities in our notes. And then we can use that, right, that dump, the notes dump, and then we can ask the Claude to help us to clean it up. Yeah, perfectly. We can do it, right? So this is like your example of your Evernote. Yeah. Okay. So can it gather our thoughts to make connections with other thoughts like a universe of thinking? Yes, perfectly. Yeah, because this is what they have. They have a graph mode. So you're thinking, right? So you can link, be able to link everything. Yeah. So this is what they call the graph view. Okay. So you can create connections between your notes, right? You can link everything. Yeah. Ideas, people, places, books, and beyond. So you can even invent your own personal Wikipedia. So you can have a main page of your Wikipedia. So with all the links, all the sources, and you can even have the visualization in using the graph view, right? So you can visualize the relationships between your notes and find hidden patterns in your thinking, right? And then you can ask AI to look at your Obsidian and find some interesting patterns that you have in your thinking, right? And let's say if your notes are not linked, you can always ask AI to help you to link all these notes together so that whatever notes that you have, right, everything is all linked up together. Nothing is separate on its own, okay? Unless it's a complete new topic altogether and you want to branch it out after that. Make sense? Let me show you how Obsidian takes notes. Just give me a minute. Okay, so there are two ways for you to take notes with Obsidian. Okay, one way is you work on Obsidian itself. Another way is you have your note taking app. For example, if you use Apple Notes a lot, okay, if you use Apple Notes a lot, right? So we'll copy and paste the Apple Notes, or we can be able to connect your Apple Notes with Claude, and then ask Claude to help us to organize into Obsidian. Okay, there's two ways you can do it. So let me share. So this is Obsidian. So you can see it's very simple. It's very plain. And that's the reason because it gives you the file, right, in MD format. So MD are markdown format. So markdown format is actually good for AI. So that's why AI is able to collaborate easily with you, right? And all these folders, they are locally stored in your computer. Okay. So when you first start, right? When you first start, you need to create a, okay, let me maximize this. Okay. So when you first start, you'll see a blank notebook. You will not have everything here. Okay. All these things are, you only have one welcome. Okay. So what you can do, you can type from here, create a new note. Okay, maybe you can put it 20, 20. So your thoughts, your ideas. Okay. So ideas. Okay. So create a podcast channel, Claude for marketing, use existing YouTube videos to generate transcripts, update my transcripts from my YouTube video recordings, for example, and let Notebook LM learn my style so it can personalize my tone of voice, create a 15 minutes podcast script from Notebook LM, upload once a week. For example, so these are my notes, right? Okay. So you see all these folders over here. So these folders are what I created. Okay. So this is what we call a para, P-A-R-A. So it stands for projects. Okay. Projects that you're working on, areas, resources, and archive. So for example, I can put into projects. And then I just need to drag inside my folder. Okay. So these are the projects that you're working on. So areas, it could be anything. Like it could be your personal, it could be your finance, yeah, anything that falls under areas. And then resources, for example, if I want to have the knowledge database, just now we mentioned about the knowledge database, right? That's external, okay? All your YouTube videos, all your websites that you want to compile inside so that you will look through when you have time. Then we put it everything inside, okay? And your inbox. So your inbox, this is where every time you start, you put all your raw thinking into this inbox. Okay, your raw notes. Yeah. So just now, Tony was saying that, okay, how does Obsidian take notes? So you have a lot of ideas, and then you can just dump all your ideas into the inbox. Okay, into this inbox. Okay, and then so that's para, yeah. Yeah. Or you can go to here, open on the side, open today's daily note. So over here it's easier. So every day you can just create one daily note lah. Right? So once you create the daily note, just need to drag inside the inbox. Can? Okay. So you see it's very plain, it's very boring, but boring works because we don't want to be too fancy when we are working with our notebook taker. Okay, we are working with our Obsidian. So this is also easy for us to collaborate with our AI as well, Claude. Okay, so let me show you how I collaborate with Claude. So it's up to you how you want to personalize your folders, yeah? Yeah, but this is just a recommendation to use Para folder. All right, now I'm in my Claude. And as you can see over here, right, just now I had a conversation with Claude to help me to create all these folders in my Obsidian folder. Okay. So for Obsidian, you will have one centralized local folder and you can build subfolders inside. So what I did, right, was I asked it to build subfolders inside. Then I'll show you my subfolder, how it looked like. Yeah, so this is my subfolders. Okay, so you can see just now on the Obsidian side, right, we have all these folders, all these local folders. So the inbox, I had two nodes. So all the nodes, they are stored as .md files, because .md files are the markdown files, which is very easy for AI to collaborate with us. Yeah. And we can always open this using a notepad, node editor. So let me go back to Claude. For this example, I asked Claude to help me to set up all these folders and created all these folders, right? So how you do that, right, is first of all, you open up your Claude, then you can go to Claude Code. Once you are in Claude Code, you add your folder. Okay. So choose the folder that you created with Obsidian. Yeah. Because once you open up Obsidian, right, they'll ask you which folder you want to work on. Then you can create a new folder. Okay. You can name it Obsidian or whatever kind of thing you want to name it. Yeah. All right. So once you have the folder, so for this example, right, I name it under class/Obsidian. So inside there's another subfolder, okay, class. So I want it to be in class. Okay. So just now I did an example. I said ingest this and place it into a suitable folder. So this was an example that I did. So it went to search on this file and say this is the reference material, how to not tied to a deadline. So it belongs to resources. Okay. So it was saved to my Obsidian. All right. So let me do another example. Now let me ingest another thing. Okay. This, for example, we use this. All right. And I can say, okay, ingest this YouTube video. Give me the important key learning points with links and references and place it in the suitable folder in my Obsidian. Okay, something like that. So that's what you do. Okay. Always allow. So it takes some time to run. Text, you can use any word that you want. Yeah. Yeah. So it even thinks, so Claude even thinks of how to categorize your knowledge that you want. Okay, so now it's actually putting it into resources, right? Initially, it said it fits 0, 1 projects if you intend to build a system, but since it's general learning and reference, yeah, so you can even give it like further instructions to put this into resources every time. Okay, now let's do some automation. Yeah. Uh, you able to clean up my what do you call that? Okay. Wait, let me get Obsidian first. Okay, collapse all. So it looks more neat lah. So you can expand all as well. So we have the resources. So this was the video. So these are the key learning points which I asked you to summarize. The timestamp, the references. Okay, everything is here. Yes. Okay. Who think this is useful? Okay, great, great. Okay, so it's useful, right? So if you have no idea where to categorize your notes, right, you can always put into to inbox first, right? So what we can do, right, is you can have 1 week of notes, raw notes into your inbox. Okay. So maybe you are very disciplined. Every day you put 1 note, right? So you put in whatever kind of things that you want, right? So every day you have notes in your inbox. So we can ask Claude, are you able to clean up my inbox? Put them into specific folders once a week. My Obsidian folder 00 inbox. Clean up my notes. Okay, my notes from so now it's setting up a schedule, automated cleanup. So it's creating a scheduled task. So a scheduled task is like what the tech people they say cron job, cron jobs. Yeah, scheduled task. Okay. Yeah, so the scheduled task is set every Sunday, 9 a.m. Next run in 5 days. It will read each note, okay, classify based on the content, move it ambiguous notes, default to resources. All right, so it said I recommend to run now from the scheduled sidebar. So if you go to the routines, right, you would see over here, Obsidian inbox cleanup. Okay. So local routines, they only run when your computer is awake. So you make sure that your computer is awake, yeah? Yeah. But if your computer is not awake at that time, right, you can still run it. Yeah. No worries. You can still do this scheduled task. Yeah. So right now, let me run it. So all these prompts, all these instructions, these are generated from AI. And if you think that you want to improve on the instructions, you want to say, okay, do not build me any additional subfolders, um, or help me to archive if this node is more than 1 year old, if there's no edits to this node for the past 180 days, you can do that. Yeah, Dex. So this is how you can run commands. I'm not too sure what you mean by run commands, but I'm not right now. I'm showing you Claude and how I'm using Claude, right, to clean up my Obsidian. Okay, and then by having this scheduled task. So every week, right, it will help me to clean up my files in Obsidian. Yeah. Yeah, there's a mobile app as well. So you can be able to sync using your iOS. Yeah. And then there's a subscription that you need to pay. I think $10. Yeah. Okay. Always allow. Okay. So inbox is now empty, right? So just now it was the content, no discernible topic, move to 03 resources. So default and ambiguous, you move over there. Okay. Class.md. So both files were generally too vague. All right. So let me see. So we move to resources. So this is the class. So this is just now the random node. Yeah. So now we have an organized notebook. Yeah. But we don't need to organize ourselves. We said, can it help to clean up my laptop? Oh, if you want to clean out your laptop, your local files, right? You can use Claude Cowork. I've done a demonstration before in my previous class. Yeah, so what it did was it can be able to clean up your own files, your folders. Yeah, let's say if your downloads folder is super messy, then you can ask you to help to categorize. Yeah. How about cleaning up Gmail? Today we are not talking about Gmail. Today we are talking about Obsidian, about your knowledge base. Yes, but cleaning up Gmail is possible. Yes, with the help of Claude. Does Claude has voice command interface? Yes. Yes. You see this record button? It's a very small button. I don't know why they make it so small. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, one, two, three. Yeah, can. So you're lazy to type. If you're lazy to type, right, you can always use voice command now. Use the mic. Yeah. All right. So another thing I want to show you is how do we, okay, are you able to go to my YouTube playlist and then ingest the YouTube videos and put the key learning points into Obsidian? You can't see the token left in your Claude account because for the Claude, it is a monthly subscription. It can only tell you the usage. Okay. How do you know when you run out? Okay, good question. You go to Claude, right? You see over top, on top, right? There's Claude. Then you go to settings. Then you go to usage. So usage, current session. So this is the current session. Yes, use 10%. And weekly limits. So this is your weekly limit. So we have I think it's 5 hour session limits or 4 hours, and you reset after every 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. And this is your weekly limit and your all models. And below is your credits. Yeah, if let's say you have finished up using the 100%, right? Then you will be using your usage credits. So what you can do is can buy more credits or you can top up your credits over here. Yeah. And you can also adjust your limit so that it does not like spend infinitely lah. Yeah. So at least you have a limit over here. Yeah. And of course, if you use, there's a few models over here. If you are using Opus 4.8, it's very expensive. Yeah. So what I do is I like to use mid-tier. I use Sonnet instead. And Haiku I seldom use unless you are doing something which doesn't require much thinking. So you can use Haiku so you can save more on your usage. Yeah. Claude is subscription based. Yes. Yeah, you pay monthly. So I'm on a pro plan, which is just $20 USD. I used to be on the $100 plan. Is it 100 or 150? Yeah. But then I don't use that much right now, nowadays. Yeah. So I just use the pro plan and it's good enough for me. Unless you use a lot of Claude Opus, yeah. If you really love Opus, and then I'll suggest that you can upgrade to a max plan. Mm. Okay, so just now I was asking, are you able to go to my YouTube playlist and ingest the YouTube videos and import the key learning points into Obsidian? Say yes. Okay, give me the playlist URL. I can pull transcripts by fetching the sub transcript and summarize the key learning points per video. Write a new note in the right para folder in your vaults. Likely resources. Okay. One trade-off, I cannot watch video. I rely on captions and transcripts. So if the video does not have transcript, the summary quality drops. Yeah. So this gives me an idea. Okay. So what idea can we do with this? So let's say, for example, I create a new playlist. I save. I call this Obsidian. Obsidian, right? Okay. So I must put unlisted, yeah. And then after that, then your AI can be able to use it lah. Okay. Obsidian. Of course, you can call it anything you want. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I copy this link. I'm not too sure if this is the right link. Invitation link. I think there's a right link. Okay. I'll put some more videos inside. Right, save to playlist under Obsidian. Okay, now let me go back to my playlist. Okay, so this is my playlist. Right, I have three inside, three content. All right, so I just share this playlist. All right. So by right, it will go into my playlist and look at the videos that I have saved in the playlist. So this means that now you are able to save your YouTube videos in your playlist wherever you are, even if you're on even if you are using a mobile phone. Okay, so because some of us we like to watch videos on our phone as well, right? We might not necessarily be on our laptop or desktop. Okay, so the shortcut method is what you can do. You'll be on YouTube, right? And then you can save this to a custom playlist, and then you can ask Claude to help you to summarize the video, okay, and then put it into Obsidian for you. So I shown you a few ways of what you can do with this. So just now I show how you can able to click on the NotebookLM the button, the shortcut key that you can add to your NotebookLM, right? So this is Obsidian. So Obsidian is another way where you can be able to store your knowledge, right? And how I want to store my knowledge and how I want to use automation. So the shortcut for me is I can put everything into the playlist. Yeah. Can you do at a channel level? If you give it the channel level, you just give it the channel um link. Let's say, for example, right, I have my competitors and then my competitor channel, right? So I can ask it to look at my competitor channels for new videos. And every time there's a new video that come out, right, I can ask it to store the information for me into Obsidian. Yeah, I can do it this way as well. Because right now I'm choosing what kind of videos I want for it to be in my own Obsidian, my own knowledge database. So I'm saving it into my own personal playlist. Do you think this is useful? Okay, Steve say it's useful. Okay. If you use ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT cannot work with your local folders. Yeah, so it cannot work with Obsidian. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I'm not too sure if ChatGPT can work with Obsidian. Yeah, because it might have a connector. Yeah, Steve. So the idea right now, right, is that we can build a scheduled task later once we get the workflow correct. So what I do for my AI agents, right, I'm using open Claude as well. So I also have something similar, and then I'll ask it to help me to every day run this scheduled task. So help me to look into any new added videos in the playlist, in my custom playlist, and then after that, port over the transcript, full transcript, and also the key learning points, summary, and everything else into the Obsidian. Yeah. So you can build a scheduled task for this. Okay, I want to change the mode, right? Because you keep on asking me for permissions. So I want to change the mode over here below to bypass permissions. So it will work without me having to keep on allowing. Okay. So now I want to show you the power of Claude code and also how we can be able to spin parallel agents. You can use it to do any kind of things that you want. I'm just showing you this example that I have. All right, so let's add more videos to Obsidian. Okay, I'm just adding some random videos, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, I got a question here. When I play any video on my phone, is there an app that can record the voice at the same time? I'm using a phone. The screen record cannot do that. We can record the voice. So you mean recording the voice of the video?
Yes, correct. Correct. Because right, I try the iPhone screen record, right? Cannot. When I record, then there's no sound. So now what I do, right? I doing a traditional way. I buy a recorder device, right? So I just record because I love to listen some courses, some sharing during my
Uh-huh.
I'm driving. So after I record, right, then I using the 剪影 to transcribe, and then I
Mm.
put into the Gemini and summarize. There's a lot of
Oh,
steps. So I'm not sure is there any apps or AI, right? I just press. All right, it can automatic transcribe and summarize, so that I don't have go through so many steps.
I understand. Yeah. For phone, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Let me check. Can I use what order? Oh yeah, I just heard my friend say about the audio recording, right? Which is you can put behind your iPhone. Yeah, I'll ask my friend for that. Yeah. Audio and art. Something like that. Oh no. Okay, this is the one. Plot note. Plot. So you can use plot lah. Yeah. Cool. All right. Whisper. Okay. I use Whisper for my desktop. Yeah, it's quite useful. Okay. Now it has actually added all these videos, and then I've given it new videos. All right. Look into my new videos in the playlist. Let me know what are the new videos. Okay, that's for example. Okay, so I added 6 more videos. All right. So want me to pull the transcript. Okay. Pull all transcripts, ingest key learning points for all 6 of them. Include ideas that I can use. So this one is really based on your learning style, what you want from this knowledge that you have. Okay. So for example, if you are a trainer like me, okay, so you want it to maybe give me teaching materials, key takeaways, or maybe social media content, bite size learning tips, okay, for every one of them, and run you may spawn multiple agents to do everything. So now I'm asking it to pull all the transcript, give me all the key learning points for all 6 of the videos, include ideas that I can use, give me teaching materials, key takeaways, social media content, bite-sized learning tips for everyone of this video, for every of this video. Sorry for my spelling. You may spawn multiple agents to do everything. Okay. So I can even throw in all my personal notes over here as well. Yeah. So for example, if I have a folder of my files, I can just add a folder, add my personal folder, my documents, for example, and then I'll ask it to look at all the files in this folder, and then after that, put into Obsidian and categorize them properly. Jaina, my promise, like shit like that. You can have the gist of it. Yeah. So my prompt is not even
It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to like easy copy, then later I want to try. Like the steps quite fun.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we can also extract videos, YouTube, and then get this Obsidian to help us. Now you're at Obsidian, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is now I'm using a Claude. So this is a Claude interface.
Okay.
Hmm.
To help us like you what you do, like these teaching tips, things like that. So I think there's a lot can be done, right? With using this step that you just show us
Yeah.
also. Okay.
Just because sometimes when we have videos, then we say, oh, just give me the summary. So that's not enough, right? Because sometimes they give you summary and then they remove a lot of context.
Right.
But if you give
Yeah.
it like more things, they say, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer, and for this particular topic. So these are
Mm,
some of my competitors, right? So I want
mm.
you to get to this and then give me some ideas that I can teach, some key takeaways, some
Yep.
bite-sized learning tips.
Oh yeah, man, that can help a
Mm,
lot. So this is what I'm
yeah.
saying. I will develop on the prompt. I just want to. I mean, these are the steps that you're showing, so I want to try out lah. So I think it's
Mm,
quite good. Okay, can.
yeah.
Thank you. Very helpful. Very
Welcome.
helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Steve. So we can add more folder into Obsidian and we can ask them to put the files into a specific folder. The idea for Obsidian is that we try not to have too many folders, all right? Because if we have too many folders, then it will be like another Evernote nightmare again, where we have so many folders we can't even find our things, right? So you can have it in this format, okay? So this is called a para format. P, which is your projects, areas, resources, and archive. And your 00 is your inbox, is where all your raw files will be, right? So everything will go in here. Everything go in here. And then for your cleanup, you can do a routine cleanup with Claude. Say every week, help me to put in all the notes, clean up all the notes, and then put it into the respective folders. All right. Yeah. And also you can even have another command, which is say that, okay, if you see that the notes have not been updated, right? If let's say the notes have not been updated, where in wherever folder, right, have not been updated for the past 180 days or past 600, past 1 year, you can put it into archive. Mm. So the prompt is always for them to specifically always put into our the folders that we have. But of course, we can have subfolders. Let's say, for example, I have this project. Then project, right? I am doing investment. For example, I put crypto investment. So this is my new project, right? So crypto investment, I can put over here. So this is my subfolder. Yeah. So I can give specific instructions to put into my crypto investment folders. Yeah. But of course, the more subfolder you have, right, it'll be more complicated, unless your instructions is very clear. That every time you feed this information, you say, okay, put into my projects, and then after that, crypto investment subfolder, something like that, and say, do not create new folders. Okay, so they will always find some suitable folder and put it in. You can even have one instruction over here. Let's say, for example, this is your instructions, right? Then always refer to the instructions here. For then you can put for new notes, they will go into 00 inbox. For projects, this is for my um, personal projects. like crypto investment, etc. Areas. Okay, so areas can be your holiday. So let's say, for example, no, personal development, my health, then finance. Okay, so this is my okay archive, archive notes that are 180 days old and not updated. Okay, so you can put these instructions. Yeah, so this will be your instructions. And you can always ask Claude to refer to the instructions whenever you have new notes that you want to put it inside Obsidian. Okay. Can we also port all our histories to Claude and you get it to organize in proper work folders? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So for ChatGPT, all this, right? Now you can be able to export all your chats. Mm. Where is it? Let me see. I think it's under privacy. Okay, so under privacy, you have your export data. So you can export this data, everything you want, 30 days, 90 days, custom. Yeah, up to you. And then once you export this data, you can go to Claude. So you want to port this over to where? To Obsidian.
Oh no, my question is like, because we have so many things working at different places. I remember the last session you show us, right? We can connect all the different tools that we're working on onto Claude itself, something like that you show.
Mm,
So like
mm.
we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have like all sorts of things like our Gmail, everything we can like connect nicely into Claude, right? I remember you show one section like that, connectors.
Yeah, the connectors. You can connect your Gmail to Claude, but you can't connect your ChatGPT to Claude.
Yeah, so it's the other way around. It means Claude is the main thing. So called you bring everything into Claude lah, but not the
Mm,
other way around, right?
yeah,
Correct. Okay, okay.
yeah. So you bring your history. You can bring your chat history to Claude. So Claude now has more learned information about you.
Right, right. That's right. Okay, okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, can I have the instruction just now? That one you like you type up, you say organize the
Sure.
file, and then I thought that's so good for all of us. I think we can use it.
Organize the files.
Just now that prompt you said updates every how often? I don't know which prompt. The last one, the very last one, the last
Oh,
prompt.
okay. Wait, ah.
Thank you.
Maybe this
Just-
one.
yeah, I
The
think so.
first.
The last one.
Oh, okay. No, this is the first prompt. So the first prompt, right? So this is okay, sort out every note.
I think this is the one. Start every
The one.
note, put it into da da da. I think that's quite good. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Let me split. So these folders are your folders for your Obsidian. Okay, so this is talking about Obsidian, your Obsidian folders.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I think can. Once we have folders in Obsidians, right, we can use this,
Yeah,
right? Okay, got
yes,
it.
that's right.
Okay.
Okay, so just now I wanted it to spawn multiple agents to do everything. So it actually spawned, see, now spawning one agent per video in parallel to write the rich Obsidian notes. Yeah. So this is the background that we can see. So it was using agent sonnet. You can even ask it to use Opus if you want. Yeah. So you can say, okay, sub agents use Opus or use Haiku or use Sonnet. Depends on what you want, right? So now, just now you was running 6 agents in parallel to ingest everything into Obsidian. Then we can click. Yeah, so we can see. Yeah, so now let's go to Obsidian and look at it. Okay. Now it's inside lah. Key learning points. Ideas I can use. Teaching material. How to explain this to someone else. So this is really good. The key takeaways. Social media tips. Okay, and what I can do, right? I can even ask my Obsidian, what have I been ingesting into Obsidian so far? Give me an detailed overview and a pattern.
So Brandon, what we're learning now, this step here is like you are instructing Claude to go and work at Obsidians. Is that correct?
Yeah, so
Okay,
we're using this as a Obsidian as a partner.
right.
Yeah, so because sometimes you can actually dump a lot of information into your Obsidian. But then
Mm,
thing is, you are not too sure what you're dumping.
mm,
Yeah. So we can ask Claude to give us an overview or summary.
mm.
Otherwise, we will just have everything over here, lor, and then you need to read everything. Yeah. And
Okay, okay, that's good. So just now, I think Susan asking a question. I also asked that question, like, if you want to clean up, let's say I got 5 Gmail account, so I want to do something about it. I can use Claude because I connect the Gmail already, right? Then I can use
mm,
Claude to instruct to say, hey, maybe you can file important ones, delete these email, blah blah, something like that. Instruction, same thing. Is it? We can do that.
yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Wow, I think that's great.
Mm,
Okay. Wow,
yeah.
Claude is powerful. Okay, now I
Do
got
that.
it. What is it? Last time you teach me, I still a bit blur. Like, what is it? Now I got it. That you're trying to make sure Cloud is partnering all the different thing that you can actually do your workflow lah. Like you can work
Mm,
on this tool and that
correct.
tool. Yeah, you can instruct. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay,
Welcome.
right.
Okay, so I see what's in the vault so far. 9 YouTube videos ingested into resources, all using the same template. Key learning points, ideas can use, teaching material. Okay, and then it actually says that, the pattern. Yeah. Everything you're pulling into classes into around one thesis using Claude to build and scale a solo content or app business. It splits into 3 recurring themes: AI content systems, solo app building economics, AI tooling infrastructure. Yeah. And then from here, you can also say, give based on the information, give me 5 content ideas for IG for a new channel that focuses on teaching AI to the non-tech people. That's for example. Yeah. Now you refer back to my Obsidian and give me 5 content ideas. Okay. So here are 5 ideas. I gave my AI a personality file. Okay, interesting. Your AI doesn't know you yet. Here's the 5-minute fix. Awesome. I let AI grade my post before I hit publish. The 40K apps nobody heard of. I built a website by literally just describing it. Guys, can you see that the headlines over here, right? They are actually very interesting. Do you think so? So my point is right, if you want to think of good hooks, good content, you don't need to think of it yourself, okay? Because sometimes, or even if you ask Claude to generate from scratch, it'll give you crappy ideas, crappy hooks. So what you need to do is just go one extra step, which is to go to YouTube and look at the best performing video and then ingest it into your Obsidian. And then after that, you can just ask your Claude to give you the ideas. So you see now you give me so many good hooks. Yeah, because I have given them a reference. Yeah. Okay, Tony, use case 10,000 emails in Gmail account. How can I use Claude and Obsidian to give me a statistical view of the type of email I have, such as business op, sales lead, support issue, or other things? Okay, so for this, right, you don't need to use Obsidian, right? Because you don't have to store all your 10,000 emails into your Obsidian knowledge base because that's going to be it's not useful lah, right? Now that's what I can say. But you can always connect your Claude to Gmail. Okay. So attend my next training, my next coaching session. I'll teach you how to do that. Yeah. And then how to give you a report. We can build a live dashboard for that. A statistical view, right? But today, let's don't talk about other things. Let's talk about Obsidian, having your own knowledge database. Okay. For any other questions, I would be interested to let you know in our next class. Yeah. Okay. Story board them as carousels. So now I have all the text for my carousels. And then I can build this using any kind of image generation that I have. Mm. Okay, Tony. So use case 10,000 emails used to respond for product support. We can ingest this into Obsidian and then create optimal FAQ. Yes, yes. If your 10,000 emails are what you want for your knowledge base, then yes, you can do that to create your optimal FAQ. Mm. And you can also build a automated response. Let's say, for example, if someone is emails to you, okay? So you can ask Claude to help you to check your emails and then help you to draft your email with your rec system. That means you'll look into your Obsidian, look into your knowledge database, yeah, and then after that, find the best answer and drafts a response. Yeah, we can build all this. I'll teach this in my next class. Mm. So 10,000 reply emails. Wow, okay, okay. So I've been very busy sending 10,000 emails. Now you don't need to send.
Brandon, I got an idea now that you said can use, right? Can use Claude to do what Tony asking. How about like a lot of people send us those, we call it sales letter. So many sales letters, so many formats. We can
Mm.
also pull this data information and then reset it for our own use, right? Because
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
you can put it so you can,
example,
yeah.
yeah.
So you can have it like you can put inside under resources. So for example, under resources, right? Then you can put a new folder inside resources. Mm, Let me put a new folder. I call it sales letters. Then you just drop all your sales letters inside lah, the subfolders. Mm.
Wow, so cool. So I just pull everything into this folder.
Yeah, you just put everything into this folder. Yeah.
Then I
If you want to
can
see
put
the
it as
folder, right?
oh yeah, there'll be resources for all the sales letter,
Yeah.
right?
So how do you see the folder? You can go to your local. Okay. So this is your. So just now we have it in resources. So under resources, sales letter. So you see, over here, the folders, everything is the same. Yeah. So you just drop all your. You can either drop all your sales letters from here, or you can create a note by note lah.
If I
Or
dropped it, if I dropped it, pull over, is the Gmail site is clean up or is still have it on Gmail site? Can I? I'm thinking
your
if I
Gmail site will still have it.
still have it. Okay, 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 still have.
Unless you ask your Gmail to delete, unless you ask your Claude to delete the sales letters from your Gmails.
After keeping it in the folder, I can ask it to delete away. I can do that. I'm
Yeah,
thinking can,
yeah,
right? I think
yes.
that's good also. Yeah, to clean up space, to clear space, and put it all into a folder on Claude. I think
Mm,
okay. I'll go and try out. Yeah, okay.
okay.
Thanks.
All right. So Steve is asking, is there any sales page copywriting AI agent or skill that can share? I don't have one. Yeah, the best way is to look at other sales page, huh? Yeah. So if you give Claude maybe 10 sales page, so you see, say, based on this 10 sales page, help me to create my own sales page. And then after that, it can help you to create a skill from there. Yeah. How does Obsidian handle visual information like photos and video clips? That's a very interesting question. Because up to now, right, I've only um shared input text, yeah, but not videos, photos, because I think generally this is a platform for you, this is a tool for you to collaborate with AI. So for AI agents, right, what we do is they use text-based, which is your MD files. Yeah. Yeah, text-based. Yes. So for visual information, let's say for example, if you have visual information like your carousels on IG, yeah. So sometimes you want to put this information that you see on IG, right? All these carousels, yeah, all these useful tips. And then what you can do, you can pass over the link to Claude. Okay, so to ask Claude to look at look at it. For example, let's go to Instagram. Search for Claude marketing ideas. Okay, no post. For example, this one, right? Okay, I copy this link. paste this into Obsidian. Take note of the content in the IG carousels. But sometimes the AI is not able to go to Instagram or Facebook because it's blocked. Yeah. You see, Firecrawl cannot scrape Instagram directly. So it will try to use my connected browser. So now it's using my browser from my computer. Yeah. So it's not using my computer. Okay, so you need to give it a while. Yeah. Okay, Steve, connect YouTube and Obsidian to Claude. Okay, so for YouTube, right, I did not connect to YouTube for Claude. So what I did, right, was I only asked it. It's this simple. Yeah. And then I just share my playlist. I just shared the Claude message. Yeah. So that was the Claude message. Are you able to go to my YouTube playlist and then ingest the YouTube videos and import the key learning points into Obsidian? Yeah. So if you have any question in your mind, right, you don't know how to do it, just ask. Just ask AI. Oh yeah, just now someone was asking about usage, right? How do we know the usage? You can see from here, there's a small little circle on the bottom right corner. So this is the context window. So the context window is actually the number of tokens, right? Before the context get reset. Yeah. So once the context get reset, you summarize your conversation and then you start fresh. And then you can see your 2 hour, your 5 hour limit. Yeah, just now I mentioned there's a 5 hour limit. And it resets every 5 hour. And also you can see your weekly limits as well. So you see now it's compacting our conversation because our context is getting a bit too big. Okay, how is it doing? Okay, it is still reading. Okay. So this is the graph view. Okay. All right. Okay, I click through, created the node to generate reflection. Okay. So under resources, let's go back to resources and see the RG carousel that Claude captured. Entropic. Yeah. It's able to capture the content from images and convert into text. And it gave us a key takeaway as well, and also references, the full policy text. Yeah. Okay. So let me continue. Yeah. Okay. So just now we were looking at Obsidian, and then also we looked at YouTube, and we looked at how we can be able to process images from IG carousels. Yeah. And also, how do you organize your folders? Yeah. And then the last thing over here is you can use it on your phone. So Obsidian, they have a Obsidian Sync, which is the official paid version, 10 USD per month. So you can sync with your iOS app and also your desktop. Hmm. Okay, so just now we mentioned that Claude and Obsidian, you don't need a connector. And for YouTube, you don't need a connector because you just need to share the YouTube playlist with Claude. Yeah. And then you can build a scheduled task, like maybe every day at 10 a.m. Look into your playlist. Any new videos in your playlist, right? Ingest into the Obsidian itself. So Jaina, just now I was adding in the videos in the playlist, right? So I add the videos into the playlist. And then what Claude did, right, was actually to grab all the transcript and give me that the key learning points, and then the teachable moments, social media ideas. Yeah. And then you put it into Obsidian. And then I also showed my folders from Obsidian and then also on my computer, like the local folders on my computer as well. Yeah. Okay. Uh, all right. So here are some examples. Read everything. So for example, you can have a every day, maybe every day or maybe every week. Yeah, you can say read everything in inbox for each note, write a clean version. So for people who like to write a lot of notes, right? So sometimes we just want to bring dump. And so it might not be the cleanest version. Yeah. So you can say read everything into the inbox every week. And then for each note, write a clean version and put it into resources with text. Yeah. So you can put your text, you can give it certain text that you want. Yeah. For example, for this one is for, let's say, for your business, for learning, for knowledge, for personal, finance, health, whatever kind of text. And I might not even, you can put a link back to the original note. Yeah. So that means you keep your original notes and you put the original note into your archive. Yeah. So every week, you sort out your notes, your messy notes, and write a clean version, put it into resources, and then your messy note, right, you'll put into archive folder. Make sense? Yeah. So we don't have a raw folder. We call the raw folder inbox folder. Inbox. Yeah. Or you can say search my notes, search my vault for notes on, let's say just now I have a lot of notes on marketing, right? Yeah. So search my notes on about marketing and write one LinkedIn post that links the related ones together. Okay. Or you can say read what I added this week and update my weekly summary note if you want to have summary as well. All right. So if you want to know more about Obsidian, you can always go to Obsidian Help and then learn more about features. There's so many features. Yeah, a lot of things that you can do. So even like all this interactive graph, right? Yeah, I don't have time to to do all the linkage in interactive graph today. And there's also community plugins that you can use. Mm, a lot more things. Yeah. So at any point of time, if you interested, go to this link to learn more. Right. Yeah, Claude can definitely do your finances and accounting, yes. Because right now, Claude is like your personal assistant that can do a lot of things. Claude has what we call Claude for accounting. They have Claude in Excel. And also, let me see, Claude, right? Okay, let's go to Claude Cowork. Plugins. So under Claude plugins, you'll see there's a directory. So you can think of this as individual departments. So you have your design department, you have your sales department. What it does is prospect, craft outreach, build deal strategy, prep for calls, blah, blah, blah. And these are the individual skills. So this is the plugin is, you can call this like a package lah. Okay, so like this package, right? What does this package have? It has skills, it has connectors, so it can connect to the different kind of services and tools that is related to sales, this sales package. Okay, so when it comes to accounting, there's engineering. I think I saw accounting before. Product tracking, small business. Yeah, so it has small business. So these are the small business workflows, including payroll, month-end closing, weekly briefs, growth campaigns using your QuickBooks, PayPal, HubSpot, DocuSign, G Suite, Office 365, Canva, and other connected tools. You approve every step that touches money or customers. So these are the skills, the 31 skills that you can use. So skills are actually a set of workflows, set of instructions. You can hover over to see, right, what are the skills that you can run and the connectors that you can connect to. Of course, this is not the all the connectors that you can connect. You can always connect to more tools. Yeah, and build your own personalized workflow. Accounts, finance. Yeah, it has finance. Streamline finance and accounting workflows. So you just need to install this plugin onto Claude. And then these are the sample prompts that you can use. Yeah, prepare month-end accrual, journal entries, your balance sheet, profit and loss, and then you can set a scheduled task. Yeah, finance plugin. Okay, so that's all for today. I think we have covered quite a lot of content today. Yeah. So for more use case with Claude, right? I think I need to cover it in another class. Yeah. Because I believe we have a lot of new students who might be new to Claude as well. Yeah. But if you can actually look into our past recording, I've actually covered quite a lot on what we can use Claude for. In terms of the connectors, in terms of scheduled tasks, in terms of how you can be able to build your own content strategy automation engine. Yeah, so everything I've covered. Yeah. Mm. Do you have how to set up Cloud Desktop? It's really easy. You just need to install Cloud Desktop. Yeah, just install the app. Mm. And then you see that there's three functions over there. So you have the chat function, your co-work function, and also your Cloud Code function. Yeah, so in my previous teaching, right? No worries. Yeah, we all start from scratch. I also start from scratch. Yeah, so in all my previous teachings, right, I covered quite a fair bit on the chat, on co-work. Yeah. And now today I just covered on Claude Code. Yeah. Any more questions before I talk? Yeah, so how to assess my previous coaching? Very good question. So later, once I've uploaded my recording, yeah, I use my AI to upload the recording. I don't do it myself right now. Yeah. So it will be processed very fast. So otherwise, you ask our previous students, right? So like Steve was always chasing me for my recording. Yeah. So now I use AI to do it. And then by tomorrow morning, you will have my Zoom recording. Yeah. So I will show you where you can access all the recordings. Okay. Yeah. We can do a 2 days class, huh? Yeah. So actually I was thinking of a in-person event.
Yes,
Mm,
I think you should because I think because already you got follower, all of us learning. So I think it'll be very practical. You can organize like a weekend, then we sign up, then we go and share this staycation play, then we learn from you. Like, I think it's better. Then we all bring laptop.
mm,
Then we
mm.
all have our milestone in mind. We write down first, let's say 10 things we want to achieve on clock. Then we come. And then you teach. I think it's very effective. Like, what do you think? I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in-person events, you can actually learn the most because
Right?
you you can always like learn from me, and then can learn from the others as well, and then we can form
Right.
teams. Yeah,
I
so
think we
once
should
you
do.
form your own team, right, and it'll be very interesting lah, because that's where you can be able to do peer based learning as well.
The Nisha is staying in Malaysia, is it? Not in Singapore, right?
Yeah, Nisa is staying in Malaysia.
Then we ask her and you together, we do a staycation. Then together we learn from the, well, I think a lot to learn because sometimes the Zoom, it just lost the attention, because too much staring at the laptop. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah.
if in person, we can take a break, have tea, then we come back, then we, have exercise, we have workshop. I mean, the workshop step, I think it's quite fun. I'm
Mm.
just thinking about it can happen, right? Hopefully.
Okay. So over here, we have 19 people, including me. So who will be interested in a
Me,
2-day?
I already say me.
Yeah.
See,
Who will be
already,
interested in 2-day immersive session
already got business liao, come in liao, start liao. Okay.
where we can settle your Claude once and for all, settle all your objectives. 2 days,
I think
intensive camp.
Singapore lah, Sentosa lah, something like that.
Sentosa, expensive, eh?
Okay, then do where? Kampong Glam.
Shanghai. Wow.
Just have some place we can think about. Yeah.
Wow. Hosting in Shanghai, okay. If you fly everyone to Shanghai, I don't mind lah. Yeah,
Wow,
I
who
think
suggests
Johor
Shanghai?
is a good place because Johor you can book a big place. Yeah,
I think JB is good. Let's do JB. JB is ideal.
cheaper,
Let's do.
right? Yeah. So JB, you can book a big hotel with a big seminar room. And it's easier for us to book the hotel rooms as well. Mm.
Hey, we
Okay.
settled for
So how
JB.
many?
So
So
you think
Jaina
about
will
it.
help me to take
Can
yeah,
the
help me
list,
to take a list.
Can. I'll do it. So then we just move maybe where now? Let me see. Because I'm also planning to relocate. So maybe I end up in JB liao. So easier to organize also.
Mm.
Once I rent out my place, I'm planning to stay in JB. I told Alaric really the other day, stay 1 whole month down there. So I think that time when I'm there, we can start liao. Like I will organize whatever lah. Think can be done.
Mm.
Huh?
Where are you based right now?
Singapore. So I'm planning now not to work for any corporation, any attachment. I'm weaning myself out.
Right.
So I can do my coaching full time. That's why I'm now on this mastermind group. So I'm planning to go to Bali as the actual mid to long term. So Ozan is there. I've been talking to him already. So but before I go there, I'll do a transition in JB first, not rushing. Then stay there a while, then build out all these things, then fully mid to long term to Bali. Yeah, I'm so trying to do that.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sounds good, right? So I don't have to still manage day job, trying to build my business. It's very tiring. Like it just never take off so much. I can't handle on my own, you see. So I think this is a good way, lor. Then Alaric heard about my strategy, say, yeah, actually you're financially free. Already. What are you doing? Like, why are you still sitting in your house? As we rent out, I quickly go and move so I can have income coming in. Then
Yeah.
can start building, you see. If not, very stuck, like chicken and egg and chicken, that kind of situation. For a long time now. So I think enough of this chicken and egg. And I'm still doing gigs for people, like trying to make the survivor thing. It's so tiring. It's too much. I cannot already. So this is the next step, lor. Just to share with you. And some of them, they're here. Yeah, just share lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
Okay.
Okay, we do the staycation in JB. It's gonna happen. Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk to Nisa. So Nisa interested.
Nisa, and then we will
How
try
to
to
Jaina?
show Nisa. Okay, I think Nisha will be excited also. Is she here?
Yes,
Don't
she
know.
say of course.
She's here.
She don't want to
Of
come to
course.
Singapore, right? Singapore too
Okay,
expensive.
we go to JB. Okay, Nisha is here. Okay, Nisha, can you come on? I want to hear your voice. Can we do JB, Nisha? I think she's okay.
Yes,
Don't know.
Jenna, I'm for it.
All right. Hey, you
Like-
got places nearby there. Then we just arrange one. Then all of us go lah. Then Brandon go. Then Brandon teach us this whole clock. I think it's going to be so good, right? What do you think?
Yes, you just pick up some place a bit away from the city.
Okay. I go and
So
research.
people, we have more attention.
Okay, and then you can come and share some things that you also want. Then we pay a fee, like a small fee. Then after that, we share the cost of the staying place lah. I think it should be okay, right?
Yes.
I think we should do that. Okay. Okay, so all the names here I take down. What the me one. So I'm just gonna take down the name before we go. Wait, take down the name. Okay.
I will also find out which location. I will suggest a few.
You also find out. Okay, cool.
You all
Okay.
decide. Okay.
Can we keep in touch? Thank you so much. All right, excited. Yeah. Let's get things moving. Yeah. Okay, let me get down the names first. Yeah. Okay. Where are the names? Okay, I have Tony. I'm writing the names now. Okay.
Hmm.
And I have okay, myself. Who else is there? Amy. Amy is okay. Eric, okay, right? Okay.
Mitch,
Who
come
never-
to Singapore. No, come to Malaysia lah. Cheaper. Yeah.
Somebody,
Shanghai is
Mitch in
expensive.
Shanghai. Yeah. Mitch in
Shanghai
Shanghai.
expensive.
Shanghai expensive. Hello. Nancy, I got Grace. Quite a lot already. Eric so okay, ask where. JB lah, we do JB. Got Grace, Grace. I've got
Oh.
Nisha. Okay.
Steve
And then
John.
Tony. Tony, time to view all your agent. Tony not say yes, never mind lah. Okay. Okay, Eric say let us know. Okay lah. Who else?
How about Steve?
Steve, yeah, Steve also. And then Tony say okay.
Mm.
Mitch say Shanghai. Shanghai a bit far leh. I also like Shanghai, but a bit far.
Yeah.
Okay, I got all the names here. Nisha, Tony, Steve, Grace, Nancy, Eric, Amy. Okay, can. And Steve. Okay. Did I miss out anybody? Mitch have to fly back to JB. No worries. Okay, he can do Zoom with us. Okay, can.
Then you wouldn't have the interactive component.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Fly over lah. Never mind, come lah. We need you. You come down. Yes. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
JB.
So,
That's it.
Nisa and I, we will arrange. Then we will set up a date. We will have some
Okay.
dates. Yeah.
Okay. Can. I will key the names then I will write there shortly later. Tomorrow lah. Can now like a bit late now.
Yeah.
To trigger everybody to look at the things tomorrow. Then can. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Alright.
Thought
Thank
things
you.
aloud when it happens. Thank you, Nisa. So fun.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Exciting.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Night.
Yes, good night. Good night.